Hello everyone and welcome to my April wrap up. You may notice that my hair looks a little bit different, and that's because I just had it done. I've had it cut and blow dried straight, so yeah, this is probably going to be the only video that it looks like this in though, because after I wash it it's going to go back to its curly self because I can never get it the way the hairdresser gets it after I've washed it. So it'll be curly again, but obviously just a little bit shorter. So yeah, this is going to be the only video that you see it like this in. I haven't actually sorted out my May TBR yet, so I'm going to have a think about that over the weekend and then post my TBR video up on Monday probably. So this month I managed to read 5 books and 1 graphic novel, which was pretty good. It was a lot better than what I did in March, so I'm really happy about that. So I'm going to get right on into it. The first book I managed to finish this month is We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. This is a YA contemporary about a family who holiday at the same place every summer, and a dramatic event happens one year, and this is told from the perspective of one of the teenagers in the family who has some memory loss of this event, and she's trying to piece together in her own mind what happened and come to terms with it. There is a twist at the end which I didn't really see coming. I did suspect something of that nature was going on, but I was still a little bit surprised by it. So I would definitely recommend it if you like YA contemporary with a sort of weird, spooky, mysterious air to it. So yeah, as I said, I gave it 4 stars. I gave everything in this video 4 stars, so yeah. Another book I read this month was Beautiful Broken Things by Sarah Barnard. I don't actually have the cover of it to show you because I read it on my Kindle, but it was a edition that didn't come with the gorgeous cover. I did write a review of it though, so I will leave a link to that review down below. I also did the Beautiful Broken book tag, which Sina Haley created as well, based on that book. It is a recently released YA contemporary about 3 girls living in Brighton, and it's just basically a general contemporary about their friendship, and it has some darker themes like mental health and suicide and self-harm and abuse and lots of things like that in it as well. So if it sounds like your sort of thing, definitely look it up on Goodreads, but as I said, I will leave a link to my review down below as well. The next book I read, and this is going to be no surprise to you, of course, and that is A Dance with Dragons Part 1 Dreams and Dust by George R. R. Martin. I finally finished this series now. Part 2 is coming up in this wrap up, and I really loved the last 2 books in this series. In this one we see Daenerys. She has reached Meereen and she has decided to stay there and sort of own her skills as a queen, which she knows will be useful when she finally gets to Westeros. We really see her love for her sellsword Daario Naharis in this, and it's so beautiful, but it's so heartbreaking at the same time because they just can't be together, but you want them to be, and it's just like you're kind of yearning for it. You're like, oh Dany, you really love him, please, I know you can't have him, but it's so sad. But yeah, and I love that side to her. She's a normal girl at the end of the day who is this queen who everyone admires, and she's an amazing queen, but she can't, even though she's a queen, she can't really have what she really wants, and there's that kind of, you know, somber sadness to it. Also in this, Jon Snow has become Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, so he is leading them and following in the kind of leadership role that his father Ned Stark sort of set the example for. Also in this, Tyrion is on the run because he has killed his father and his nephew, and King's Landing are after him, and he joins a band of misfits, and his story is different in this to what it is in the TV show, but he joins this band of misfits and he becomes like entertainment with another female dwarf called Penny. They become like an entertainment double act for upper class people. He's obviously under a false name because he doesn't want people to know that he is Tyrion Lannister. So yeah, that is the gist of this one. I also read, of course, A Dance with Dragons Part 2 After the Feast by George R. R. Martin, and this is obviously just a continuation of Part 1. In this we see Tyrion again is leading this kind of double life. This brings us up to date with the end of season 5. So season 6 has started now. Season 6 started this week on Monday. So that is not book material. That's Divergent now. So yeah, but this is just basically a continuation of, as I said, part 1. in this as well, Daenerys has gone missing. She's at the end of part 1, she kind of flew off on Drogon, and the people of Meereen don't know where their queen is. They don't know where she's coming back. They don't even know she's alive or anything like that. We also see Arya, who has been staying in the House of Black and White, praying to the god of many faces, and she is trying to prove herself and ultimately get her eyes back because she has been blinded, which is the same as TV show. So yeah, so now I have actually read the A Song of Ice and Fire series, I see that there are a lot of differences, but obviously there are loads of similarities, but there are a lot of differences between the books and the TV show. And I would actually thoroughly recommend anyone who is a fan of the TV show definitely picking up the books if they think they can get through them, because it's taken me 6 months of continuous reading of them to finally get through them. I did go through a couple of reading slumps during that time, but now I've finished them. I actually feel like it's an achievement to have got through that huge fantasy series, and I'm now ready for the release of The Winds of Winter, which obviously we have no idea when that's going to come out, but fingers crossed that it's going to be soon, and hopefully the series will end, we hope. But yeah, I've really enjoyed reading the books, and as I said, I would recommend them to anyone that is already a fan of the TV show. The most recent book I managed to finish was Hex by Thomas Aldy Hervelt. This came out yesterday, and I will leave a link to my review down below. This is an adult horror book about a town that is cursed by a witch, and Hex is actually the name of the organisation that kind of monitors the witch's whereabouts, because she kind of pops up at various places around the town. Sometimes she pops up in people's houses, but it's actually really funny, the kind of casual way that the characters just kind of dismiss her, because she's been doing this for hundreds of years and they're just kind of used to her just this weird ghostly witch figure just being there, and I did find that actually really quite funny. But and there are definitely some moments of humour in this. So yeah, it's got a real Stephen King vibe about it, which I really liked. And yeah, so I think obviously Stephen King is an influence of this author, Thomas Aldy Hervelt. I really don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right. It's spelt like that. It's Dutch. But yeah, I did really enjoy it. It did make me laugh at some points, and I'm a huge fan of Stephen King. I love kind of weird supernatural goings on in small town America. I love any books that deal with that kind of thing. So yeah, as I said, I will leave my review for this book down below. And the last thing I managed to read this month is Suicide Squad Volume 1, Kicked in the Teeth. This is the New 52. I haven't actually said who this is by. The story is by Adam Glass, and I guess Federico Dall'Occhio and Clayton Henry are the artists. But the artwork in this is just absolutely gorgeous. I absolutely love it. And this was my first foray into Suicide Squad. I'd never read or seen anything to do with them before. As I said, I gave this 4 stars. I do have the second volume down there as well, so I will be picking that up very soon as well. And that's it for my April wrap-up. I hope you guys enjoyed it. What have you guys read this month? Please let me know in the comments down below. I will leave all my social media, of course, as usual, and I hope you're having an awesome day, and I will see you very soon for another video. Bye-bye.